Hey guys, I'm Summer, and my demonstration is on dream catchers. When I was younger, I was a teenager, my grandma was like, wanted me to get into my ancestry, my Native American ancestry. And of course, as a teenager, you're like, you don't care about that kind of stuff, So her idea was to teach me how to make dream catchers, and I was like, oh yeah, that's so awesome, they're so beautiful, I was all excited finally about ancestry. So she taught me how to make dream catchers. So it's been something I've done for quite some time. And the belief for Lakotas is that the dream catcher, like a good, positive, and then you have bad, negative kind of forces. And the dream catcher lets the good go through the middle of it, and then the bad is all caught up in the web, and then it burns up. So all you get is the good because it comes through the hole and then drips down the feathers into our brains, into our minds. So good thoughts, So it's, and there's so many ways to decorate them, so many ways to do them. So that's the other good thing. There, according to like Eagle Spirit Ministry, there's like a million other different stories or ideas of how dream catchers work, but that's, I work with the Lakota ones, So anyways, and the more natural you make it, the better it's supposed to work, okay? So if you're trying to make it natural, you go out and you get a willow, and you make it to whatever size you want to. Now, it's usually like 3 to 8 inches in diameter, actually like an adult hand, that's, like the best, probably best size. And I'm just using this huge one to show you guys. But what you do with the willow is you put it in warm water and you let it soak for, like 5 minutes or so. And then you put it around something circular, like a bucket or whatever, that's in the right size that you want, and then you tie it. And you let it dry for about 2 weeks. And then another good way to do it is the grapevine, because you can buy that at Hobby Lobby. But to make it stronger, maybe braid it or twist it, and then put it around the thing. But you don't have to let it dry because it's already dried. So if you want to do it quicker, and also you can, like I said, you can buy the metal hoops, and you can get all different sizes from small to large. And I'm using and so the next step is to decorate your hoop. So there's 2 different ways. Well, there's more than that. If you don't want just the wood, because the willow, if everybody's seen the willow's pretty, just wood. But if it's a metal one, you're going to want to decorate it. And the best 2 ways to do it are with the ribbon or with leather stripping. And you take and you tie, if you're doing leather stripping, you just do the glue and you put the leather stripping around it, and then you use the webbing to tie it on. But if you're using the ribbon, go ahead and tie it on. And then you take just a thin strip like this across. And then I usually cut it off of the roll so it's easier to work with. And then you just go like this and pull it through. And you repeat this until your whole hoop is covered. And then you go above the knot right here. And then when you get it finally done, you go ahead and knot it again and make like a little ribbon to hang it by. So then it's ready to hang and everything. And then you let it dry. And depending on what glue you use, because you can use Elmer's glue, doesn't matter. Depending on what glue you use, you let it dry for that approximate time, whatever the glue says. Usually like a half hour. And then what you're gonna do is the webbing. Now, I've seen ladies crochet doilies and put them in. This one is leather. They did put this to make it a little bit tougher. But like I said, if you wanna make it natural, you can use leather in the middle. But the idea of the webbing is it's the spider web that the trickster, he's like a seeker, a wisdom seeker. That's what he did. He spun the spider web. He came to the elder as a spider, and he spun the web. And so when you do your webbing, you're also going to want to put beads to represent the spider. So what you want to do here is just I use about 10 feet, wrap it up like this so it's easier to work with, because if you have it on the line, it's really hard. So now you put it like this, tie it, and and like this. Now to put this on here, what you want to do is you want to put it through the hole to get it to go on. You go like this, put it through the hole, and you keep repeating that until you go all the way around. Depending on what kind of pattern you want, you can do whatever kind of pattern. And then what you do is, like right here, normally you wouldn't have this knot. You could add like a bead into all these parts. There's different kinds of dream catchers. Like this has the intricate beading that you can do. And then the last part, finally, after doing this, is to add these threads and then to add the feathers on the bottom. You just tie them on, and then you put the bead, you tie them onto the string, and then you put the bead to hide the knot. And then, ta-da, you're done. And you can, you do whatever you want. So, yeah, dream catcher.